Okay, so I was thinking of this experience of mine, right? I was with a friend about a year and a half ago. We're in McDonald's, right? Just eating outside. It was the middle of the summer of 2016, enjoying ourselves, catching up after a long time. And yeah, some guy comes to me and he asks, "Do you have £1?" I go, "What do you need it for?" He goes, "I want to get a Big Mac." I go, "Okay, fine, £1." So I gave it to him. I'm expecting him to go inside McDonald's.
Mm.
But 2 minutes later, okay, I didn't see him go in there, so I'm like, okay, what's he doing? And I see him walk away and go on the road and walk off somewhere. And that made me think. Just coming back to people who are homeless,
Mm.
coming back to people who ask for money, right? I learned from that. Like sometimes when people ask you for money, they might be homeless, but the money you give them, they won't use it for their own nourishment, food,
Mm.
and just to keep themselves going, right? So I personally go and if they ask me for money, I wouldn't give it. Personally, I would go and get them something now.
Mm.
I mean, what's your view on that? Like, if you ever come across, like, in your communities, yeah,
Yeah,
people.
myself, I'm one of those people where I go. Lots of people sometimes say, what are you going to do with the money? You know,
Yeah.
who do you give the money to?
Mm.
You know, does he deserve to have the money? Is he playing a fast one? Is he, is he deserving it? Is he going to spend it on drugs, smoking, and whatever?
That does
There's
bother the
all
mind.
these dilemmas and whatever you can have. And the way I approach it is that I do my charity work.
Mm-hmm.
I get the money, and I actually then spend the money myself.
Okay.
So I won't necessarily, if somebody's walking down the street and asks me for some money, I will
Yeah.
not necessarily give it to them.
Okay.
I will actually go out and do it myself. Okay, examples. I
Go
think
for
then
it.
I'll
Go
give,
for it.
give examples and whatever.
Yeah.
Having joined the search and rescue team in in 2008, but prior to that, after 2003, when I went through this health scare,
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to go and help in Romania.
Mm.
So in 2006, I had an opportunity to go to Romania, and we went to this place called Arad. And this woman there called Laura Andres, and what she was doing is she was helping these kids who were on the streets.
Yeah.
And we went out to Arad, and what it was that these children were abandoned. They had no parents, so these children, from five upwards, were living on the street, no parents, no food. And you know where they were living? They were in Romania. The cities are heated up by pipes, and the pipes of water come in from outside the city, and they're brought into the city. So these children were living underneath these pipes. In the winter, it's just like minus 30.
Wow.
It's minus 30, and the only way these children could keep warm, and I've actually visited these pipes and whatever,
Yeah.
is to sleep underneath these pipes. Just imagine in the snow and whatever, and that's it.
Bloody hell.
And you can't believe that children, even in this day and age, were living like this. And in the summer months, you saw, well, they still got somewhere to live, but in the summer months, you got these pipes. The people have thrown garbage and everything else around, so these children are now living in garbage. And so this lady, Laura Andres and whatever, decided, and they asked us to help and whatever. She wanted to get these children off the streets, and she
Yeah.
wanted to build a house to get these children in there. So
Yeah.
that was my first time I went and done some charity work overseas, where I was able to help some children get them off the street. And we actually then, they had a small house, and we then put an extension on it and a roof on it and everything else and whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, so the money that I raised, or the money that I actually went there and actually saw firsthand where the money was being spent. So that was my first opportunity in actually charitable work
Yeah.
overseas. And since then, what I'll do is we've got an orphanage that's adopted in Tanzania.
Okay.
So what we'll do is, whenever we get the opportunity, and I've been over there 3 times, I'll take 2 weeks off my own time off. I'll pay for my own airfare, and any money that somebody gives me, I'll get a lot of my friends and go, well, we're going to give you the money because we know it's going to go directly to the people and whatever. I always say, please don't give it me, because I'll just spend my own money, because I don't want the responsibility of having somebody else's money and whatever. And also I don't want people to say, oh, we give you money, how much of that did you put in your pocket, and how much of that?
Yeah, and a lot of people ask those questions.
The
From a
questions.
charity point of view, yeah.
So, and I'm one of those people. I don't. If somebody gives me, I can't even then not spend the 1 penny out of that, you know, because then I'll go. Oh, in my heart, I want to say, yeah, everything went to the charity, to the child. So we got this orphanage that we adopted in Tanzania, and I've been over there 3 times. And the first time I went there, and we looking the fire service, you know, we asked the fire service, and they donated 12 computers. So we went over there, and we had this building, and we completely refurbished it. We repainted it and everything else, and we set up these 12 computers for these children. And in this orphanage has about 200 children. They all got disabled. They either got various disabilities, you know, and I'll tell you about one of the disabilities a bit later on. But we set up this IT street, and you know what brought the greatest joys to the face of these children was not all the computers. We took these computers, and then had you know this 30-second clip of laughing cats. You know, you've still seen them or whatever. Yeah. And these children and they kept on saying, play it again and again. Yeah. And I've never seen children smile so much by just a simple thing. And, you know, because they got nothing. These children are in an orphanage. A lot of them are disabled. They got nothing. They got no books, nothing to play on whatever. And then all of a sudden, for them to smile when they, you know, that alone made it worthwhile. Yeah. And so we've been there a few times there and whatever. But some of these children, they really are in a bad way, because, like I said, they got no parents. They're disabled. When they're disabled, they're thrown on the street and whatever, because the parents don't want to look after them. You know, you got these in the orphanage. You got albino kids. You know, albino kids. These are black children, but because of the pigments and whatever, their skin is white.
And they chuck them away.
Well, what they do is in African countries, what they do is if an albino kid is walking down the street, sometimes they'll just come along. They'll get a machete and they'll just chop his arm off, and that arm they will sell for $1,000, because to have that in somebody's house or something is seen black magic and whatever. It's seen as good luck. So they will chop an arm off of a child, you know, just to sell it and whatever. And so this orphanage, a lot of the albino kids and whatever are brought in so that they're kept safe and whatever. But just imagine that. How can one human being to another human being, especially to a child, do that?
Inhumane.
Because it'll bring them back good luck. You know, I couldn't get my, you know, head around that. But in the orphanage, they were like normal kids, laughing and joking. But because, you know, they're albino children, they'd be walking around like this, you know, because their eyes are very sensitive to light. So constantly in the sun, they were walking around like this and whatever. And one day, so what we did was, we thought, what can we do to, you know, help them, whatever. And this is where it comes down to that the simple things in life can make a big difference. We were going down back to our place for the rest, and we had these street sellers, and this street seller was selling these sunglasses. Yeah. So he's selling this, he had this, you know, thing on his shoulder and whatever, selling sunglasses. We called him over and said, you know, bring them over here. And we looked at him and said, okay, we'll have the lot. And he had about 50 of these pairs of glasses. We said, we'll have the lot. And he thought we were taking the mickey. Yeah, no, we said, we'll have it. And they worked out to something like 30p each. Oh. You know, conversion, whatever, there's 30p each. So we bought all these 50 glasses, and the next day we distributed to all these albino children. And then the following day we went back. They all looked like Michael Jackson, But what I'm trying to say, we laugh, but what I'm saying is that they're walking around proud as punch that they're wearing these glasses, but they can see. So they're no longer having to walk around like this. They proud as anything, And what have we done? We've changed somebody else's life. And what did it cost us? And that's what I sometimes say, is that sometimes it's the small things you don't realise. Don't always think about, I've got to do big. Sometimes it's the small things which can affect an individual's person and whatever.
And you can transform their life just like that.
Just like that. And if you don't mind, I'll share another example at the orphanage. And we had this guy. So you got these children are disabled and whatever, and fantastic. Give them something to smile. So you got these albino children who are nice and safe, and they look like Michael Jackson, but they love it. Yeah. And the children at the age of 16, these children then have to go and fend for themselves. And I had this one guy which to go. 2011, I think, was when we went and saw this guy called John, and he didn't have no legs here, so his feet ended up at his knees but facing inwards. So
his foot was at his kneecap.
Yeah, face inwards. So so he'd be shuffling around. So he had his feet facing inwards, but no legs down here, just this bit here. And every time we used to go in there, we used to have a good old chat. We used to, have a good conversation with this chap. John, his name was John as well. Every day we used to have a good chat and whatever. And I didn't. Then you look at him, you no longer see the disability, And he used to ask us questions. What do you do? And we used to explain to him, oh, this is what I do in England. This is what we do. And he's always inquisitive and everything else. And he didn't have a direction in his life. And I was saying to him, but do you know you can do this and you can do that? And he goes, can I do this? I said, of course you can. What's stopping you? But this. Why? So you're just having general conversations and whatever. And I thought nothing of it. We didn't go back the next year, and then we went back the year after. And I went looking for him, and he was no longer there. So I went round to the matron's house. I said, look, where's John? And she said, well, at 16 they have to go and leave the orphanage. And I said, do you know where he is? She said, yeah, he went and he joined the college and started studying.
That's amazing.
And I just thought to myself, there's this guy, he's got a disability, had no purpose in life, and all of a sudden he's gone to university and trying to make something of his life and whatever. I didn't force him to go in there. He's the one who made the decision to go. But hopefully, talking with myself or talking with others and, being positive about it and say, look, okay, I don't see your disability. I don't see you. Yeah, so he goes, well, hang on, I can do things. So, and that's the power of words, is that you can make a difference in somebody's life. It doesn't always have to be about money. It doesn't always have to be about, materialistic things and whatever. Sometimes, just by help, you can help somebody by words, and words are very, very powerful. Vice versa, don't use words to bring people down either.
Yeah, that's very important.
And I think that's where sometimes I always say, if you can't say something positive, don't say nothing at all.
I agree with that.
And sometimes we do have a thing of being negative and whatever, and so we shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah, I'd probably agree with that. Because you can change someone's mentality in a bad way. In
Yeah.
that sense, isn't it? I mean, you put someone down and you can crush them, but with a few words of positivity, you can change their life.
Yeah.
It's coming back to what you're talking about with John.
Yeah, and I think we've had. Where have we met each other before? Quite a few years ago.
The late 16, the mountain hikes. Yeah, so we did Snowdon and Scarfell.
And Scarfell Pike. So yeah, basically, so we went up Snowdon, we went to Scarfell Pike, and it was hard.
It was difficult.
It's very hard. We're not going to say it was easy, but you go up as a family.
Yeah, 100%.
You go up as a family.